It's the Brooker That Gratitude guy. All right, Manila. How fortunate are we all? A couple of days ago, I was talking to a good friend of mine who had just gotten back from Manila in the Philippines. He asked me if I'd ever been there, and I hadn't. And he says it was one of the most unbelievable trips he'd ever taken. I said, well, how come? He said he couldn't believe the poverty, the living conditions, the lack of material goods, the oppression, just some of the conditions that he saw as he and his family traveled about Manila. So I said, well, tell me some other things. He says, well, there weren't birds in the sky. He noticed there were very few animals around, mud, dirt, garbage, the smell, the stench, the whole thing. He said, you just can't believe what we take for granted. So, of course, this made me immediately think about how grateful we are for what we have and what many parts of the world don't. But what really struck me was what he said next. He said, but let me tell you something. He said, I noticed they didn't run around with cell phones. They didn't have 500 channels to choose from for TV. They weren't having little handheld video games and individual devices to play games on and so forth. But he said, I noticed something very amazing. They counted so much on each other. And whether it was family or friends or whatever, they not only counted on themselves, but the family unit was so intact. And you could tell that the people made such a difference. And so that, of course, made me realize how many times I ask people, what are you grateful for? Tell me the most important things. And typically the health becomes first, but family, friends, people in your lives, people that make a difference. So here's a case where in Manila in the Philippines, you've got maybe not even 1/10 the conditions that we have to live in, or the wonderful ways that we get to have a roof over our heads, or a nice warm bed, a hot shower, as I mentioned recently on the video. But here are people who lean on each other and have gone back and really in the basic core of understanding how important we are to help each other. I said to somebody recently, one of the best ways to deal with the things in your life that are tough is to share gratitude and help other people. Some of the toughest things I've been through in my life, the best way for me to help myself was to help other people. So here's a culture that understands that. So think about that today as you're grateful. Think about that and think about how much the people in your life are so important to you and that they make a difference. That's it for today. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a grateful day.